Hey gang, and welcome to Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows, and today we're looking at Prowlers Passage from Renegade Game Studios.
Prowlers Passage is a two-player strategy game from designer J. Alex Kevern.
It's a network building, set collection, area control, point salad game, and it was illustrated by Pedro Enrique Cardoso.
At the start of the game, tiles are randomly selected and connected together to build the board. Random tokens are laid out into the noted spaces, and 3 unique achievement cards are laid out as well.
The players select their color, and the second player actually gets to move one of the control markers one space in their direction.
Each turn, players will lay a passage along one of the city pathways. He will collect the token on the path and then move both of the control markers that correspond to the buildings on either side of his passage.
Special shovel tokens allow you to move the markers twice as far.
And anytime all of the pathways around a city statue are completely filled, the player to lay the last passage gets to steal the statue.
Once 7 passages have been laid, players do mid-game scoring. They will score their longest passageway, their statues, their sets of tokens, and then whichever markers are on their side of the board will score as well.
Each marker scores in a different manner, some based on specific tokens you've collected, some based on the number of markers you control, and some based on the sets you've collected.
The second half of the game is played in the same manner, but now your pathway options are much more limited. Passages can only go along the inner parts of the board, and pretty much every space on the board will be filled by the end of the game.
For final scoring, players repeat the process and also score any of the bonus achievement cards that they were able to collect. The two totals are added together and the player with the most points wins. Alright, so it's essentially an abstract strategy game at the core. Like, there's not really any luck in the game. You're placing these pieces and collecting them. There might be like a teeny bit of, not necessarily backstabbing, because it really is just like, if you can anticipate what they're going to do, you want to jump in with your little wimmy diddle stick or whatever those things are and your passageway and cut them off and take that spot. And so it's a very heavy strategy game. The cool thing is I actually think the theme is really well wedded to it because it gives you this idea that you're like sneaking through city passages and collecting tokens and pulling them and stealing the statues. That whole like level of intrigue that it adds is pretty cool. I think Stephanie Straw may have added that to the game or built on that theme or something, and it takes it up to a whole nother level besides just being like a moving pieces on a board. It's really cool.
Yeah, I enjoy that it has good replayability. There are 6 tiles that you set up at the beginning of the game, and there are extras that come in the box, and then they can also be rotated. So the main board setup can be different every single time. In fact, it makes some of those, the 5 different colors of tokens, you may have one that only has 3 spots on the board even available for use. And so you'll be fighting back and forth of who's going to control that marker in that district. So I think that's a good way to add replayability to a game that could be very static.
Yeah, I mean, the board layout really does determine your strategy in the game, because if you realize like, oh, if I get control of this blue one on turn number 2, nobody's going to be able to take it back from me. So being able to like just soak in what you're looking at on the board is cool. One of the great things about the game is that it is very, like, there's a lot of different ways to get points. So you don't necessarily have to control, like, you know, if I steal the blue and she can't move it, well, she's got 4 other control markers in different ways that she can get points and beat me by 2 points every single stinking game. But there's a lot of different options. When we jumped into it, it's not hard to learn or to teach, which is cool. It takes about 20 minutes to play. And every time we've played it, we've been like, oh, let's play a second game so you can beat me again. It's quick to play, quick to set up, and it's a really enjoyable game to play.
Yeah, I love that there's so many options on strategy. You're not stuck in one path, and you can even change it up as you go. If you lose control of something, it may be for your benefit, especially the white marker. You get negative points if you've picked up a lot of shovels, and so you can use that against the other player. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, you can check out Prowlers Passage from Renegade Game Studios, and then don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube.
I think that'll work.
Set collection, area control.
Point salad.
Points. Network building. Network building. Okay.
Alex Kevern. Prowlers Passage is...
Network, I couldn't remember network building. Okay. Around those yellow spots on the board. So I think, and this is going really long. Okay.
I just want to rub the two little sticks together, like make the little propeller at the top go. That's what they do.